2 years. It's been 2 years since I made this video. Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back once again, or for the very first time, to the Farts and Craft Show, where today, as per usual, it's your host, Danjo, here with part 23 of Stick Tips. I wish I could say it was part 15, because this video was part 14 Stick Tips, where I recommended to roll back the firmware on your SN30 Pro USB from 8bitdo if you indeed had one of these controllers, because the latest firmware, that has been their only firmware for a long time, was version 1.04, and it did not really work correctly. Now finally, again, 2 years later, we have version 1.05. It's kind of really impressive and unexpected that they finally did this. 8bitdo, I usually check up on their website every so often, which, in case you guys are unfamiliar, go to support.8bitdo.com for firmware updates, or to download the ultimate software or whatever you need, and or the firmware updater as well, which is not compatible with all of their devices. I'm not sure why, but yeah, 1.05 is finally out. This took me by surprise today, so this video is going to come out at a weird time. And you may be wondering, hey, what is in this firmware update? Well, according to 8bitdo, version 1.05 fixed the abnormal vibration issue in some of the Switch Online, Game Boy Advance / N64 games. Personally, I never use vibration, especially on this controller, because the vibration motors are like so small, and I'm just not a fan of vibration in general in controllers. I have a feeling there's some other things that were changed under the hood, so I'm going to be testing out this firmware quite thoroughly, and I'll update you guys based on, stuff. If I find that it's better, if I find that it's still not good, just stay on version 1.02 or 1.03. Honestly, I think I was on version 1.02. They're both okay, in my opinion. They both had to do with the analog sticks and how they perform. But yeah, we also had some other surprise firmware updates for kind of seemingly out of nowhere, like the Pro 2 wired controller for Xbox got an update to version 1.7, which, according to 8bitdo, says fix the analog drift issues in the controller when wake up from the console or Windows PC. Personally, I've never used this controller on either of those platforms. I use it with my Wingman XE2 adapter from Brook, so I can use it to play PS4 games on my PS5. Hopefully we get that full PS5 compatibility firmware update at some point, but we'll see what happens with that. Again, I'll keep you guys updated. And surprisingly, we also got an update for the Pro 2 wired controller, which was not actually listed on their website. It usually, when you hover over the various controllers on the website, it usually tells you what the latest firmware is for that controller. Sometimes, like with the SN30 Pro USB, you have to install it manually by holding onto the L and R buttons, and then plugging it into your PC or Mac, I guess. But yeah, when you download the zip file for the firmware, it also has a README file. I think it's just in .txt format, has the instructions for how to install. But yeah, I was out of curiosity. I plugged in this controller when I was updating the other controllers with the firmware updater from 8bitdo. Wow, can't talk today. and it had a couple of notes. It was updating from version 1.02 to 1.03, and I think it shipped with 1.02. Like, I don't think I've ever updated the firmware on this controller. Which, it's a wonderful controller, by the way. Probably my favorite Switch controller right now. I might make a separate video on that. But yeah, and I did make a specific video for this controller when I first picked it up. But it says change the device's name to 8bitdo Pro 2 wired controller. Not on the Switch. Maybe when you're using it on PC, I guess. Fix the abnormal issue and press the start button while using joysticks. I've never had that before. Fix the no turbo inputs problem L2 R2 buttons when activate the custom profile. I've never noticed that either. Fix the problem a joystick cannot reach the maximum analog value after using the ultimate software to adjust the outer maximum range of joystick. I think I have noticed that before. I believe so. It does. There was some kind of weirdness with the analog sticks, so it wasn't anything that would bother me. But hopefully they feel more precise now, I guess. That would be nice. But yeah, I think that's all the notes I have. Yeah, so let's actually get to some gameplay. Now, I do have a game pulled up that I'm very, very familiar with in case my playtime on my main file is not obvious. Monster Hunter Rise plus Sunbreak on the Switch. Fantastic game. I know it plays better on next-gen consoles and PC. I've put too much time into it, and they don't have... At the time of recording, Capcom has not provided a tool to migrate your save data, so I'm not going to start from scratch on a different platform. There we go. And we'll just do a quick, some kind of quick, easy mission. Because honestly, I'm not going to spend too much time on this anyway. And Elgato, not Elgato, the company that makes all kinds of capture cards and whatnot, they also named this town Elgato with a D. So far feels pretty good. But yeah, the camera in town can be a little jank, just like the controls like in the town are just a tiny bit different from the controls in game. Let's go ahead and get some more of these real quick. Don't really use... yeah, mushrooms one, sure. Let's do an anomaly thing. I've been trying to do these more frequently. Just because in the late game, when you're trying to max out your equipment, you need like anomaly materials. Turn that down my end a little bit. Let's see. Something easy. Bonus is for the Great Baggy. Really? Again? I've already taken care of so many of those. Ragia, Azuros, Lagambi, Zuros, Volvidon. Yeah, preferably something I haven't fought a million times already. would be one. Ancient Ath Kazoo. Actually, let's go ahead and... Because eventually, I'm trying to get like every mission. Eventually, so... I mean, there's high rank stuff I haven't done. Dual blades, insect glaive, yeah. Great sword, hammer, blessing, bowgun. You know, I was gonna mess around with great sword at some point, so I may as well do that. Bisha 10, yes. I can't bring my followers for this? Okay. Let's see. Probably stick with my current setup. Just because I don't... this one's more active. I usually use longsword or gun lance, to those of you who actually play this game a bunch. It's just a usual, and moneymaker weakener, sure. Doesn't really matter, let's go ahead and skip. I mean, so far everything's feeling good, so... let's go... depart, yeah. H10, my movement settings, big, hits big, see yourself. Yeah. This should be a walk in the park, though.
Alright, let's go.
Okay. Let's see, camera controls feel good. Especially with the right stick. Left stick is feeling accurate too. Alright, let's get into some more demanding gameplay here. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. Yeah, so far early impressions are good here.
Doing great.
And if you guys want to join and hunt, let me know. I do stream this game from time to time. It's been a while, but it is one that I come back to frequently. Oh, gotta drop material over here.
Have a taste of this. What is the bit? This is the end.
Oh, dude, that's like nothing. Wow. Yeah, this is gonna be simple.
Taste of this. Here comes the pain.
What, really? Already? horns on him too.
Let's go for it.
Alright, good stuff. Gonna take you for a ride. 100, really?
See ya.
Oh, sorry, back up.
Say goodbye. You shouldn't have tipped me off. This is the end.
It's doing like no damage. This is hilarious.
Say goodbye. Here it comes. I placed the trap.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was a lot simpler than I thought it would be, honestly. Um, but yeah, pretty good. Pretty good first impressions. I'm digging it, honestly. And part of the problem with
Giddy up.
the 1.04 firmware was specifically with where I noticed it was at the time the Pokemon Sword and Shield. It was and not just Sword and Shield, it was any game that had online play. And I'm not sure why, but it was just like kind of laggy. The analog sticks like weren't working correctly. It was it was kind of a mess in a lot of ways. And I'm not noticing any kind of issue now. Like, again, this was
That takes care of that.
like before, oh my goodness, talking about a time before even like the Pro 2 came out. I think it was even before I got my, no, it wasn't before that. Yeah, I had my SN30 Pro Plus at the time as well. But I just preferred this controller when it worked right. Because, like, you know, it didn't have latency on Bluetooth, and, so, you know, it's just a wired controller. Man, I am really fucking this up.
Here comes the pain. You're my best pal.
But,
This is the end.
yeah, now that I've... Because I mostly play this game with my Pro 2 wired controller now. Because, like I said, I vastly prefer that controller.
Have a taste of this.
And it's a very good one.
You're done for. talking about. This is gonna be good.
But oh no. Ah, crap, I missed.
Bye. Have a taste of this. You're done for. Here it comes. No getting angry. After it.
But yeah, there are certain games where I still prefer this controller. It's not. It's typically for like 2D games where I'm mostly using like the D-pad, just because the Super Nintendo form factor kind of just like feels better to me in a way. I don't know why, because like actually holding the Pro 2 just feels better, but
Have a taste of this.
so it could just be like force of habit.
Let's have some fun. This is the end. Now's our chance.
Yeah, that was pretty simple. But yeah, it was very unexpected and very welcome to see a firmware update. Finally, version 1.05. It was and honestly it feels good.
Piece of cake.
Like they seem to have fixed the problem with the 1.04 firmware. But yeah. Honestly, I'm impressed and surprised. Like very, very much of both. For the sake of being thorough. No, because I wasn't having problems with the D-pad and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty much just the analog sticks. Having like weird behavior. But yeah, I didn't notice any of that. Like comparing this to the Pro 2 as far as like the analog performance goes, it felt similar. Like pretty functionally the same. I have put this controller through the ringer, so it's definitely not as in good of a shape as my Pro 2, which I've been much more careful with and have a lot less playtime with. So I don't know if the amount of use ties into that, but yeah, it's very nice to see. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for being here, greatly appreciated. And of course, before we get going, a very special thank you going out to the current Farts and Crap Show members, which at the time of the recording is Novellis Draconis. But if you want to be incredibly awesome, support the show a bit more directly, and get in on those membership benefits like Novellis Draconis, check out the join button down below. Tiers start at $3 a month. It's only 10 cents a day, gets you into all the basic stuff, including getting to vote on the series that get made here on this channel, So if you guys do sign up for that, keep an eye on the community tab or the membership tab, and you guys will see those members only polls. So and even late input is still considered for future members only polls for deciding series. Anyway, it's a whole thing, but thank you all for being here. Greatly appreciated. And till next time, guys, take care and hope you all have a beautiful day.